Hello everyone, this is Red Wolfless, and today I am going to be doing something a little bit different as in I'm going to be recording with my voice. So what you're seeing here is something that I took a picture of last night. I was watching a movie, and the movie wasn't really that good, so I kinda just got out my sketchbook and started drawing. Now, as you can see here, that there is a faint line of where I drew a circle, so that is going to be the first step. Now, usually I'll change the opacity, and I usually use blue for the sketch. I use the same kind of process for drawing on the sketchbook and on the computer. I never make a full lined circle, and that is because whoops, I just messed up the camera. Nobody mind that. That never happens, I promise. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, sometimes if it's a little bit out of misshapen, it actually helps you draw a little bit better. However, and so usually, as everyone should know, that when you draw on paper with a pencil on a sketchbook, it's a little bit different. So I like to draw on paint tool side because it allows you to use separate layers. So once you get that circle in, I would change it so you're kind of more comfortable with a certain position. And what I usually do is I kind of just start drawing that, and my noses, I'm still working on them. I just kind of I do this because, I don't know, it just gives more tone to the character. So I always start with the head. I don't usually start with the body or anything. Usually it is always the head. So once you got the nose in, you can go ahead and start with the expression. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect, except for when you're Kelsey, because I am a crazy person, basically. It has, so what I'm using right now is just a line. I don't really prefer to use this, but you can really use whatever you want. I usually use the sketch, and what that is basically, I'm using the paint tool side version 2. So what that is it's just the blots, the paper, and all of these settings here, pretty much. I mean, you could pause the video and take a picture of it, or just go ahead and jot it down in. But for right now, we're just going to use the line because that's what I've started with. So yeah, once I usually get the head in, and what I'm doing here is just kind of going back and forth to kind of make like the fur of the chin, and then I kind of just go here and then I stop. Once I stop with that, I'll usually go back here and kind of just add a bit of tone to it, you know, with the muscles and stuff. But this is just a quick sketch. I mean, this is not a serious sketch right now, but, and then I move on to the eye, and I kind of follow the rules of wolf eyes, but then again I don't, because each eye has its own kind of thing, and every artist is different. So what I'm basically doing right now is just getting in the base of it and stuff like that. And I can always come back and change it. So once I get the eye in, I usually kind of just shift the thing around however you're used to, and then I just kind of do that. So that just kind of just adds some tone to the eye, so it's kind of out and it's kind of not. I mean, everyone does it differently, but that's just how I usually do it. So I want to go ahead and make the circle a little bit, you know, less obvious, and then I'll just kind of come back and sketch these in. Now I'm just going to be doing this quickly. This right now is not really a serious thing. This is just a sketch, and I'll usually go back with a second layer of sketch to kind of make it look nicer, and then I'll move on to the line art. So once you got that, you can really do whatever the heck you want at this point. Once I have that, I usually move on to the ears, and I've been doing this kind of thing recently where I kind of just draw that, and then so it's kind of like an eye, but it's not. And then I take this piece and I kind of curve it upward and then have it go in. Now all ears are different. I'm going to see if I can show you what I did with this ear here. Hang on. So this is the full actual image, and what I did with Dakota right here is just I did the same thing, but it's just more of a regular curve, and his ear will be missing there. That's kind of what I do. So I'm trying to get rid of that. So usually I'll come back in with a second layer later, so it kind of make it look nicer. And then and usually I'll do something like this for it, but since Asher, which is Witani's character, I will put a link in the description of her DeviantArt channel. She's actually the one that asked me to do a tutorial through Discord. She's like, oh, I gotta know what it is, so I'm doing this for her mainly, and for whoever who wants to watch it. And yeah, so actually, believe it or not, by me doing adopts is actually how we met and became good friends, so that's kind of crazy. I think it was like December something. So usually I'll and the hair here is based off of Witani's representation of his hair, because honestly I think she does a better job. I actually think I'll show you. And usually I commit all this to memory, which is why I don't, when I'm doing the sketches and line art, I usually don't need it. Need the oh, I just butchered his name. I am so sorry, Witani. So yeah, there it is. So I usually have everything I need saved. See how his hair is kind of like that? I'm trying to get it to look like that, but I'm not as good as her when it comes to that kind of thing. So actually that looks actually a lot better, to be honest. And sometimes when I'm doing with the hair and stuff, I'll kind of put this here as like a stray strand of hair. I don't usually do it for every single one, but it's nice to have that kind of detail in every now and again. So then after you do that, you kind of just come down, repeat until you get all of it in. And this is just a quickie. I'm not really taking my time on this because I don't want this video to be sped up. I don't want it to be too long. Just to kind of make things easier. I'm just giving everyone a step-by-step thing on how to get the base look in. I'm actually going to do other parts where I will keep cleaning everything up with this and make it look nicer. Ooh, whoa, did not mean to do that. Yeah, so once you get kind of the basis in, now you're ready to do some of the fun stuff, some stuff that I enjoy more than others. And actually, until recently, I just used to do them like this, the cheeks, but I've been doing a different kind of thing where it adds more of like a pop to it, so it kind of looks like it's showing. Hang on. So it's kind of just looks like it's kind of poofing out to the side a little bit, but not too much. Alrighty, so now that we have that, we can move on to some of the stuff I've been doing actually really recently to make it look better. I actually did it about a month ago, and I like it. So I kind of just take this and just kind of draw like a secondary line on it, and I kind of follow the base shape of the actual mane that's going on here. Excuse me. And usually I'll have like this as kind of just like the lips are kind of pouting down a little bit. I mean, it's optional, you don't have to do it. It really depends on how the finished product is going to look with it, to be honest. So, and what I'm doing right here is a lot of what you're going to see and probably get headaches when I go in and out like this in the speed paint videos. I'm not doing that by using my graphics tablet. I am actually doing this with the mouse. It's much more accessible, and all I have to do is point to where I want to go with the pen, and it'll take me there by scrolling in with the mouse. And that's just kind of how I quickly do things and the selection tools and stuff. So again, follow kind of the base pattern of that. You don't have to do it all the time, but just to have that first layer, it makes it look nice, kind of. And then you'll just kind of... And another thing about fur is it's not always a straight thing. It goes all over the place. So when you're seeing this, it kind of goes down, kind of goes out, and then it kind of goes down again. Same kind of with this. That's something that all fur does, even hair on people. It just can't be tamed, in a sense. So, you know, just kind of keep coming in, and I'll do like a couple of these layers. Some spots won't have them as much, like at the shoulders or in the connecting area between the legs. Here, I'll show you what I mean. I should probably just leave it open. No, I don't want that right now. Sorry, Asher. Nope, don't want it there either. Okay, so you kind of pick this up, and you'll see what I mean here. I'll just give you a quick example. So you'll see this, and then you'll kind of see this. There's not really any hair there, and then you'll kind of see a little bit of hair, and then you're not going to see any, and then you're going to see some, and you're probably going to see some here very commonly. You're going to see a little bit, and then it kind of smooths out. And usually you'll kind of come back in as like a second layer and kind of repeat the same with these areas and stuff. I'm going to leave that open. And so you kind of come in. So you just kind of come in like that. And just have some fur kind of doing its own thing. And it really depends on what you want the character to look like, and that's really gonna depend on how it's going to look. I mean, it's not going to look perfect with each character, and it's going to look different, just to kind of give that show. As you can see, Dakota here has kind of got like this wide snout. Because he's good boy here, just... There we go. That's better. No, I'm kidding. I've been practicing with that kind of thing, but I'm not good at it. So once you get everything in, now we get to work with the markings. I always leave those last usually. So let's just get rid of that circle. Let's add it much more visible. We don't need to get rid of that just yet. And sometimes I'll use a different color just to kind of tell me where it is. I know, I'm going to go ahead and do that here, because it really helps a lot. And Asher has this scar on his face that's recent. And usually, yeah, okay, I got this. Usually I don't need a thing to reference me, but with some things I kind of do. Yeah, so it kind of comes in and goes up. And then you've got another one that comes up and just kind of, and usually there's a third one, but that's not as notable because it's on the other side of his face. Same thing with Dakota. He's just got this whole scar running down the entire length. Oh, I just wrote the wrong place. It's just running down the entire length of his body. And it kind of ends at the base of his tail. So it's always good to have references. Too much complication in it could really irritate you. I mean, it'll be the end of you. Like, some of my characters have so much detail on them that sometimes I just freak out. I kind of have a hissy fit. So usually once you get that in, I mean, sometimes I'll edit it, but usually this is usually how it looks. And he's usually got like these different color shades there. So that is just the basis of the sketch when you get the sketch like that. Alright, I will see everyone at part 2 whenever I do it.